To review some art from my previous terms at Art School Part 1. Stay until the end to learn how you can get a video critique on your work. So we're going to start off at one of my first attempts at plein air and environments. This is around the time I was starting to take interest in concept work and I didn't know where to start, so I started by just doing plein air art. I remember in this piece it felt difficult to have fun because I was so focused on getting the shapes right and worrying about whether or not my lines were straight, and especially with paint because it's so fluid. I remember the sun was starting to go down, and so I was thinking, I think I need to stop now and I'll come back later, and then I just never came back to it. So the bottom half is empty still. I wish that was finished, and I wish I spent more time thinking about the foreground rather than so much of what was in the background. When you're first starting plein air, a great tip I found is just taking a lot of time to observe what you're seeing. So before you even start painting or drawing whatever it is you're doing, kind of taking a moment to just look, sit with it and be with it, and just being conscious that the time is also changing the way the shadows and the light and the colors are looking. So knowing that what you're painting is ephemeral and you might have to return the day after to finish painting it. But I think just being as present as you can with the thing you're drawing can help you understand the shapes before you start painting. I think starting in this little book really helped me to feel safe and to know that this is my sketchbook. No one's going to look through it unless I want them to, and I can take it anywhere I go along with my paints. If I'm somewhere and I just want to whip out my paints and start painting, I can do that. But I also recommend, as you progress, trying to enlarge the work you make over time. It's really important not to get stuck in a particular frame or way of making something because it kind of just limits where you're able to go after that. Next thing I'll be critiquing is another environment I did early on, and it's of a little discount store. I think I found it on Google Maps, so this wasn't really plein air. It was more working from the photograph. The first thing I noticed about this work is that there's no apparent light source. If at any point you can work from life, it's always really helpful. If not, then finding an image that is clear enough so you can see the light source and understand where it's coming from is always the best. I'm also noticing that I put a lot of focus on the discount store itself and the typography and like the little print, but the rest of the work feels abstracted and also feels unfinished. So if I could change anything about this work, I would A, spend more time on it, and B, establish a stronger light source. Because right now it feels very much like I want to find light and I want to find shadow and I want to orient myself, but there's no point of orientation here in terms of light. So I feel a little uneasy looking at this work. It's really interesting to review my own work, but I really want to see yours. Leave a comment down below if you're interested in having your work critiqued and viewed here, and I might just make a video about it. See you in the next video.